Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you, everybody who's stopping by to tune in. Today, we're gonna do a little bit more prepping, I guess you could say. It's getting close to fishing season kicking off. I've actually got a tournament this month, so I need to get more stuff done. So, what we're going to talk about and what I'm going to show you is a couple of ways I like to spool up my reels. And before I do that, if you haven't already, please drop down below, hit that subscribe button, make sure you click on the bell so that way you get notified every time I do a video. Also, if you like the video, please smash that thumbs up button, leave me some comments, and share the video so that way it'll help my channel grow. With that being said, guys, let's go on and jump into it. So I've got a couple of rods here to my right, and then I've got a couple of rods to my left. The ones to my left, I didn't strip all of those. There's a few of them that I probably do need to strip and re-spool. So I'm going to go through those and see which ones I probably want to strip and re-spool. The ones to my right, I have already stripped the line off of those. These are definitely getting re-spooled. So I'm just going to show you a couple of ways that I like to re-spool my reels. One of the ways, if I'm here at the house in the shop, I have this Berkley spooling station. It's pretty cool. So basically you have this portion here. This acts as your rod. This is spring loaded, so this just pulls out like this, and you set your bait casting reel here, and let's see here. Okay. Then you have this right here. It opens up like that. This kind of reminds me of the my favorite movie, Ghostbusters, the PKE reader. It's what they use to track the ghosts. But anyways, those pull out like that, and then this extends up. So, like that. There's this little piece back here that just slides up, again, spring loaded, and this metal rod right here comes out. And then on the sides there, you have these two posts. So you can see that one. Then there's the other one that pop up. And then in the middle here, you have this little tab. This is a tension tab. And here in a second, I'm going to show you what that is for. Let me see which rod I want to do real quick. Okay, so this one, let me get it, swing it around the camera. This looks like my Texas rig. My rod that I fish my Texas rigs on. So, and it is. Trying not to hit my tips, breaking any guide rods off. This is my SixGill Sega rod. It is a 7.3 medium heavy power. So this is what I fish my Texas rigs on. I like this rod because, one, 7.3 is a good length for me to pitch and flip with, but then I can also make some pretty long casts when I'm fishing my Texas rigs with this. So it's a good rod. SixGill, this one here, Sega rod, is not too expensive. So if you guys are looking to get you some rod and reels, I highly suggest looking at SixGill Fishing. I'll leave their link down below so that way you guys can click on there and check out their rod and reels. Again, really good rods. I've been with them for a very long time, and I have been pleased with all of their reels. I think I've had 2 reels that have broke. One of those reels was my fault. The other one of the gears inside had broke. I sent an email to SixGill. They checked on my order. When I had ordered that reel, it was still under warranty, so they told me, put it in a box, send it back to us. Sent it to them. They're down in Texas. I sent it to them. They cleaned up all the grease and everything that was on it, put new parts in there, re-greased it, got it back to me in a really fast time. So really good guys there at SixGill. And like I said, I have been pleased with their rod and reels since I started buying their stuff. So what you want to do is Well, one of the ways I'm going to show you, I'm going to take the rod or the reel off of the rod, and like I just said, I'm going to place it in the seating portion of the spooling station, and it should sit just like this, pretty much like it would if it was on your rod. You got clearance to turn the wheel or your handle. So first thing I want to do, if you guys remember last year, I had talked about these little things that I ordered. They're called butt dials. But basically what you can do is it has, see if I can get this without banging the rod tip. If you guys can see those little red arrows, so it has a spot where one arrow points to your line. So you can put what type of line is on this rod or on your reel, and then you can put the number of the test poundage. So that way, hang on, my light's dying on me. It's not getting any brighter. So anyways, we're good. So that way you'll always know what line you've got on here. So maybe if you hook a big one and you break off, you can look down and be like, holy crap, I just broke off with 17-pound test. I might need to go up because these are some big fish. So, or maybe you're having trouble casting and you probably need to downsize a little bit. So it helps you with remembering what line size you have, and then if you do have troubles, then you'll know if you need to either go up on your line or go down. So it's just a good visual aid to help you remember what you got on that reel. So in my little box down here, I've got a couple boxes of Berkley 100% fluorocarbon. I've got 10-pound test, 15-pound test, and 20-pound test. So I think what I'm going to do for this Texas rig, I'm probably going to put some of this 20-pound test on here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my dial on here. I don't want the fluorocarbon to move. Man, this thing is... What did I say I'm going to put? I think I'm going to do 20. So, should... Okay, this thing isn't gripping very good. There we go. 20-pound fluoro. Then I'm going to tighten that back down. Alright. And then slip that back on the butt of the rod. Okay. Alright. Now I got that set. Now I'm going to get into my box here. Okay. Now most of your spools, where the label is, there is a hole on the spool there. So this rod right here that I was talking about earlier, and when you're spooling up a bait caster, you want the line to come off of your spool and go onto the reel spool in the same fashion. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my rod here and just poke it through that, and then on these here, what I'm doing, you guys can't see, hold on. So what I'm doing is first I'm going to lift up this tension tab, and then on this one here, if you can see that hole right there at the top, I'm going to slide the rod right in there. And then on this other side, as you can see, it has an opening at the top to make it easier to just slip the rod right in there. And that's going to hold onto the spool. And then like I said, that little tab that I had to pull up, that just holds tension on the spool, so the spool just doesn't spin freely and then all of your line comes off. So that is just going to hold the line right there, so I can now grab my fishing line. I always like to hold on to these little tabs that they have on the spools, because once you're done spooling, I like to use these to put back on the spool to hold the line down so it doesn't just freely comes off and makes a big old mess. Now make sure you get it through the your guide on your bait caster, whatever brand you have. Make sure you get it in there, because that's what helps spread the line on to the spool evenly so it doesn't just bunch up in one corner. Okay, what I'm doing is just tying a knot. I don't remember what this knot is called. I actually had watched this video several years back on YouTube. Okay. I don't think I have any pliers or anything out here. Okay, give me 1 second. See if I got pliers or something. Oh, right over there. I do. Okay. So it's easier for me after I've ran them through that guide there on the reel, and I run the line under the spool on the reel, and then if I can take some pliers and get down there and grab a hold of the line and then pull it up. Okay, and then grab some right there as well. All right. Now what I'm gonna do is tie me a knot. Oh, hang on, let me see if I remember how to do this. It's been a minute. So what I'm doing is I've pulled some more line right here to make a loop. Let's see if I can. Okay, so what I've done is I have my line here that's coming from my spool into the guide, and then I've pulled up some here to make this loop right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap going around that one, but then I'm not tying a regular overhand knot. I went around this line here, and now I'm going to tie my knot here. Okay, just like so. Because now what that knot has done, when I pull on this, is going to cinch this line back down onto this first little knot that I tied. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my scissors here and cut some of this tag end off. When you're doing this, whenever you're cutting the tag end of anything off, always you remember to try not to, well, that can wait. Try not to cut any other part of the line. So just pull that, get it to cinch down, and then that knot will stop it from going any further. Alright, we're good. Now I'm going to cut that little bit of a tag end off, like so. I might be able to get a little bit more on that one, so I'll try. Let's see. Okay. Yep. All right. Now, what I like to do is I like to take my drag and tighten down that star drag all the way, and then I tighten down my tension knob. Okay. Now, if a little bit of line has pulled off of the spool, as mine has done, that's okay. Just hold on to the line and pull it out to give it some tension. Engage your reel. Start reeling nice and slow. Okay, see, it still hasn't, so I need to fix that right there. Alright, now once you've got it going and you've got tension still, now it's just a matter of you turning and cranking and getting your line on there. Alright, that's about good right there. And that's it. That's one way I like to spool up my bait casters. The other way is your normal, I guess, traditional way of spooling up a bait caster, where what I like to do, if I'm out on the water, I will set my spool down somewhere to where it's not flopping around and making a complete mess. But I'll run the fishing line through this first guide right here and then run it back to the reel, so that way I've got a good amount of space, so that way the line doesn't just bunch up right there, but then I still maintain tension on the line, so that way it doesn't just start running everywhere. Of course, after that, you just cut your line off and remove it from the spooling station. Set it down in your reel seat on your rod. And tighten her down, and you're done. And that's one rod right there that I've got spooled up. Now I just need to tie my stuff on for this one, which again, I said this is my Texas rig. So get back up here. Alright, so like I said, this is my Texas rig, so at some point I'll get a chance to go out to the boat and grab my boxes and stuff, get all my terminal tackle, so I can tie this one back up. Okay, that's one. And then I'm going to show you how I like to spool my spinning reels. So with the spinning reels, with this station, you can use these for spinning reels. It has this little device here where you can take the spool completely off of the reel, and you place it here. These little knobs here, they have wing nuts on the back. You can see those wing nuts here and here. And that will just basically, well, if you turn it like that, it closes down. Here, I'll show you guys again, because I don't know if I had it facing the camera. Well, let's see. Let's see. What am I doing? There we go. There we go. So, turn it this way, like so. And as you can see, the two wheels spin, and it opens this up. And then if I turn the two wheels again the other direction, it closes down. So you'll put your spinning reel spool right here. And now this piece will sit here in the housing unit like so. And then you got your line still sitting there, and you turn this handle and it spools it up. The only thing is, on a spinning reel, where the bail is, if you guys can see that, the spool moves up and down. And that's what helps get the line to fill up this whole thing. So if you just put the spool on here, remember, you have to be the one moving the line back and forth. Otherwise, it's just going to get bunched up in one spot. And of course, you can't really you can, but you'll look silly if you put the reel on upside down and try to crank it backwards. I hate watching people fish with spinning reels and they hold it the wrong way. So rather than using this, I don't ever use this spooling station on my spinning reels. I just do what I said I did the last time. Now you can use the portion of the spooling station to hold your line, but then I just run it through the first guide. So I got here some Berkley X5 braid. This is the flame green. The reason I got this one is because fishing with braid, sometimes, well, for me, fishing with braid, what I would like is when I cast, I want to be able to see my line in case those fish have those like soft, subtle bites. I want to be able to see that line twitch. And I've tried the Berkley Crystal, which is basically their white braided line, and I have some more of their the low vis green, but I can barely see the low vis green, and then the white, sometimes you can barely see that. So I think with this flame green, I'll be able to see this a lot better. So if you guys can see that, so that's going to be very, very visible for me, and that's something that I was wanting. So again, I'm just going to take my rod here, jab it through. I'm going to set it up there, slide it over so I can lift my little arm to keep my tension. Okay, now I'm going to take my braided line, do the same thing there, get me some braid going. Now I'm going to have to be very careful with this one and where I hold my rod, so that way I don't tear up any of my stuff. Okay, just run that down through there. Now, one of the most important things to remember when you are spooling up braid is on your reel, or not even just braid, I'm sorry, not even just braid. When you're spooling up a spinning reel, you have to open the bail and then tie this on, so that way it whenever you start reeling it in, the bail will catch it and actually pull the line to it. So one thing that you can do is loosen up the top knob on your reel. I know you guys can hear that. That's the top knob on a spinning reel is also your drag. So what I like to do is I'll take that off, try not to lose any of my pieces, and then I'm going to do the same thing I just did. I'm going to tie a small little knot right down here at the tip of the line, trying to save as much line as possible, but just a small little knot right there. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to loop it around my spool. And then I'm going to actually tie the knot back on itself, just like so. I know you guys can't see what I just did there. I hope you saw what I did on the other one. And then I'll pull that tight. And then that way when I snug it down, it should snug down on that knot that I had just tied on the spool first. So that way it doesn't slip. Give it some pulls. Make sure it's on there nice and tight. Not going to slip on me. Okay, and now I've got that spool. That line is tied onto the spool. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to open the bail and put my spool back onto the reel. I'm now going to put my tension knob, not even so much tension knob, I'm sorry, not tension knob, but my drag knob, what I'm going to call it, your cap, your drag, whatever you want to call it, but it's the knob on top of your spinning reel, and tighten that down. Now, I close the bail, and again, you want some tension, so just grab that line and start pulling it up, holding it. Oh, I'm trying to work around this, guys, please work with me. I just like to hold it like this with my hand to hold that tension, and then you just start turning the reel. Once that tension has caught up to where you have your spool, you can relax a little bit, kind of lean back in your chair if you're in a chair, kind of like you're out fishing, and then just start turning. Now you want to make sure that you're watching your spool, making sure that you don't overfill, because that could become a problem for you later on down the road while you're fishing and having issues with your either the line coming off, or you're just going to have, it's overfilled, so then the line is just going to constantly fall off of that spool, so you're going to have to cut it off either way it goes. So just keep an eye on that. I probably can get a little bit more. Go a little bit more. Okay, that's about good right there. I'm gonna call that good. All right, and now that's one spinning reel. So I've got 1, 2, 3 more spinning reels, 1, 2, 3 more bait casters that I definitely have to respool. But I just wanted to show you guys a couple of ways that I like to make sure you got good scissors when you're cutting braid. I just wanted to show you guys a couple of ways that I like to spool up my rods whenever I'm getting ready for the new season, or like I said, if I'm in an emergency situation where I've gotten hung up quite a few times and I've had to cut the line off of a reel, and I'm gonna do what I call an emergency respool, where I just respool up while I'm out on the water. But that's how I do it. You guys don't have to do it that way. I would just say make sure whatever way you do find, make sure it's easy for you to repeat. Make sure it is very, very efficient. Okay, you don't want to spend your time spooling up rods, and next thing you know, you either get a bird's nest. I've done it quite a bit, where the bird nest was so bad I had to cut everything off and start over. You also don't want to spool up and you don't put enough line. You don't tie it right, so then your line slips off. You want to make sure you got it on good. Another thing you can do, if you have electrical tape, I've seen people do some of their videos where they talk about after you've tied the knot, to make, if you want to make sure your knot doesn't come undone, or kind of a fail safe, is take a little piece of electrical tape and put on there. So as you're turning your reel and you're putting your line on there, that line is going to be sitting on top of that tape. So it should hold that starting piece to where it doesn't slip off of there. So just a couple of things to think about, so whenever you're spooling up. But that's all I got, guys. I'm gonna try to get the rest of these spooled up, maybe some of these over here as well. Again, guys, if you got anything you'd like to say, any kind of comments, questions, anything like that, please leave them down in the comment box. Make sure you smash that thumbs up if you like the video. Make sure you share the video, hit that subscribe button, make sure you click the bell and click on all, so that way you get notified anytime I put out a video. And there was one more other thing I was about to say, and then I just lost it, guys. Anyways, y'all know what to do. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Let me know what you guys think. Till next time, guys. See you in great outdoors.